The alien jungle was dark, wet, and full of danger. A man ran through the thick trees. His clothes were torn. His face was dirty. Blood ran down his arm. His name was David Cole, and he was the last human alive on this planet. Above him, alien ships moved slowly through the clouds. Red lights scanned the ground. They were searching for him. The hunt had begun again. David fell behind a large rock. He covered his mouth to stay silent. His body was shaking. He could hear alien voices through the trees, cold, deep, and strange. One of them laughed. They enjoyed this. They hunted humans for sport. A small drone passed above him. He stayed still, barely breathing. It flew away. He whispered to himself, "This time, I ran. Next time, I won't." 2 days earlier, David's ship, the Horizon Flame, flew near the edge of a strange star system. It was a research trip. 5 humans were on board. They had come in peace. They never got a chance to land. Out of nowhere, 3 alien warships attacked. No warning, no reason. The sky turned red with fire. Their ship was hit hard. It started falling fast. David woke up in a burning wreck. He pulled 2 crewmates out of the flames, both dead. He couldn't find the others. The crash had scattered them. That was 48 hours ago. Now he was the last survivor. The hunt begins. Since the crash, David had seen the aliens. Tall, silver skin, long black eyes. They looked half like machines. They didn't speak to him. They just chased. They had sharp weapons and flying drones. They didn't kill quickly. They wanted fear first. They wanted screams. But David did not scream. He ran. He hid. He waited. He knew they thought he was weak. He looked tired. He looked scared. But they were wrong. David was a former survival trainer. He had spent 6 years in Earth's worst places. Deserts, jungles, frozen tundras. He knew how to live. He knew how to fight dirty. But he had no weapons. Not yet. A strange disco vary. That evening, David found a cave behind a waterfall. He climbed in, cold and hungry, and rested for the first time. While looking around, his hand touched something smooth. It was not a rock. It was metal. He dug carefully and pulled out a small alien device, glowing blue. It looked like a scanner, maybe a weapon. He pressed a button. A map appeared in the air. It showed dots moving. Alien patrols. He smiled for the first time in 2 days. "Now we're playing a different game," he said. "Memories of Earth." That night, David sat by a small fire. He thought about his team, his friends, gone. He thought about Earth, his sister, his dog, the sea. He closed his eyes. He remembered the first time he joined the space mission. Everyone called him the quiet one. Now he was the only one left. But he wasn't planning to die. The aliens Thayer. In the alien base, one of the hunters reported something strange. "Sir, one of our scanners was taken." "By who?" asked the commander. The soldier paused. "By the human." The commander laughed. "Impossible. They run. They don't fight." But the soldier looked nervous. "Not this one." ANEWP LAN. David now watched the aliens on the scanner. He saw where they camped. He saw their weak points. He didn't plan to fight head-on. That would be stupid. But he could trap them, confuse them, scare them. He could become something else, something they didn't understand. A ghost in the jungle. The MESSAG. Before sleeping, David scratched something into a rock with a sharp stick. He wrote 2 words. Next time. Indane moment. HOKCONTINUES. The next morning, a small alien search team entered the jungle. They found nothing. At first. Then one of them saw the message carved in the stone. He touched it, confused. Suddenly, He heard a click. A trap activated. Explosion. Fire. Screams. From the trees above, David watched silently. He whispered, "Next time, I won't need to run." The jungle was silent again. 3 alien bodies lay broken near a smoking trap. Burn marks covered the ground. Strange black blood soaked the leaves. High in the trees, David Cole moved like a shadow. No noise. No scent. The alien scanner was now strapped to his arm. It beeped softly. Another patrol was coming. 4 aliens this time. He marked their path on the map. He smiled. They were hunting him. But now he was hunting them. The human who didn't. In the alien command center, deep underground, alarms buzzed. The commander stood over a map showing blinking red lights, the last known locations of lost soldiers. 3 teams gone in 2 days. One man did this, he asked coldly. A younger alien officer nodded. He's using our scanner. He sets traps. He studies us. The commander growled. Humans are weak. They bleed. They die. The officer whispered, not this one. Learning the enemy. David watched the patrol from the trees. He learned their rhythm. They moved in patterns. Always confident. Always loud. They never looked up. He dropped down silently behind the last one. With a broken piece of metal sharpened into a knife, he cut the creature's throat and pulled the body into the shadows. The others didn't notice. Not yet. He waited. 5 minutes passed. Then one of them turned around. Where is Kelzar? It asked. Too late. David threw a heavy rock. It hit a tripwire. Boom. Another explosion. Smoke and fire. The 2 remaining aliens screamed. David was already gone. FLASHBACK. Training in EV or dies. As he hit again, David remembered his old instructor back on Earth. Survival is not about muscles, the old man said. It's about the mind. Learn. Adapt. Strike. He was doing exactly that. He wasn't the strongest, but he was smart, careful, angry. And he was just getting started. The Cape you are. That night, David set a new kind of trap. He made fake footprints, left heat signatures using pieces of metal heated in a fire. He led the aliens where he wanted them. One alien, separated from his group, followed the trail. Snap! A net made from broken ship wires pulled him up into the trees. David climbed toward him slowly. The alien screamed and thrashed, but David stared into his black eyes. You like hunting. You like fear, he said. The alien growled. You will die. David leaned in. No, you will send a message. Terror in DE base. Hours later, the alien soldier returned to base, injured, eyes wide with fear. The commander shouted, "Where is your team?" The alien fell to his knees. He took them, all. Who? The commander asked. The alien whispered, the human, the silent one, the jungle ghost. The room fell quiet. The hunter had become the hunted. Human strategy. David now had alien weapons, a shock blade, and a plasma pistol. He didn't use them much. Noise was his enemy. Silence was his power. He found old alien gear, dropped in panic. He started learning their tech. What buttons opened doors. What systems they used to talk. He couldn't understand their language fully, but he understood fear. He made symbols, left strange signs carved into trees. The aliens started seeing them. They grew afraid. Psychological war. One night, David hacked into their radio. In the middle of their meal, the radio clicked on. Static, then a voice. His voice. You came to hunt, he said calmly, but you never studied your prey. The radio shut off. Panic spread. The commander slammed the table. Silence that signal. Find him. Kill him. But no one moved. CLIFFHANGER. A new power. Later, while exploring the jungle deeper, David found a hidden alien pod. Inside was something new. Glowing tubes, strange green light, and a suit. It looked like armor, but alive, breathing. He touched it. A screen turned on. Words flashed in alien script, then changed to English. GENTAC ain't enhance meant ready. David's eyes widened. He looked at his bloody hands, his tired face. He whispered, "Let's even the odds." The wind blew softly through the alien jungle. Leaves rustled. The air smelled like smoke and metal. But something else was in the air now. Fear. The aliens were not walking like hunters anymore. They walked in groups, eyes scanning every tree, every shadow. The jungle was no longer theirs. It belonged to him now. The HFY 3 alien soldiers moved through the fog. One looked around and whispered, "Why is it so quiet?" Another replied, "He's watching. I can feel it." They raised their weapons. Then, a sound, a rustle. They turned quickly, firing into the trees. But it was only wind. They didn't notice the trap under their feet. Click. Boom. One alien flew into the air. The other two screamed. From a branch above, David Cole watched. He didn't smile. He didn't blink. He just marked another patrol off the scanner map. The base TURNs KOLD. In the underground alien base, lights flickered. Commanders shouted. Plans changed. The aliens now slept in groups. Doors stayed locked. No one went into the jungle alone. The walls once had trophies, human helmets, patches, pictures. Now, those walls were empty. One alien asked, "Where is the human?" The commander answered, "Everywhere." A GJOST in DA dark. David moved like a ghost. Quiet. Fast. Sharp. He now wore a half-completed alien armor, taken from the pod. It gave him better vision, stronger skin, and faster reflexes. But it was not perfect. It hurt sometimes. It wasn't made for humans. Still, it made him dangerous. He didn't care about pain. Not anymore. He used alien tech to jam their sensors. He left messages scratched into trees. "I see you. You started this. Next time is now." The RADIOHAC. One night, inside their base, the aliens gathered for a meeting. Suddenly, all the screens flickered. Static. Then, a voice. Calm. Human. "David, you wanted a game. You thought we were weak. You were wrong." The lights turned red. "I was the last. But I am enough." Then silence. One alien threw his weapon across the room. "He's just one man." The commander growled, "He's not a man anymore." "They human MESSAG. That night, an alien patrol found a strange scene in the forest. One of their own soldiers was tied to a tree, alive, unharmed, but frozen with fear. On the ground below him, a message written in blood. "This is mercy. Next time, no mercy." David's mind. David sat near a fire deep in the jungle. He was thinner now, his eyes sharp, tired, angry. He stared at the scanner, studying movement, learning every alien step. He whispered to himself, "They think I'm just getting lucky." He looked up at the stars. They don't know this is all part of the plan. The next move. He found a hidden cave near a waterfall. Inside were broken alien supplies, batteries, wires, power cells. David started building. He connected parts, fused circuits, created traps, made devices he didn't fully understand. But they worked. He placed one near an alien path. When the next group passed by, VZZZT, a shockwave exploded, frying their armor. David walked into the smoke, took their weapons, left one alive. The alien whispered, "Why? Why are you doing this?" David leaned close and said, You thought humans run. He pointed at the others. Now look who's running. Futuristic. In the base, more aliens begged to be taken off the planet. We were not trained for this, they said. This is no longer a hunt. It's a war. The commander said nothing. He stared at the last message from David, flashing on a stolen device. You built this cage. Now I'm the beast inside it. CLIFFHANGER. Something is coming. That night, while scanning the skies, David saw a strange signal in the air. A ship. A big one. He zoomed in. Not a hunter ship. A royal ship. Alien Command was sending someone important. Maybe their queen. David's eyes narrowed. So you're sending your best now. He stood up slowly, picked up the alien blade. Good. He looked at the camera he'd placed on a tree and stared right into it. Let them come. The jungle was no longer quiet. It whispered, not with wind, not with animals, but with fear. The aliens had a name for him now, a word in their language that meant, ghost who kills in silence. They didn't say it out loud anymore. They were afraid it would make him appear. A ship arrives. Above the planet, a new ship entered orbit. It was black, smooth, and shaped like a blade. Inside was Commander Jarek, a cold, powerful alien leader. He wasn't here to hunt. He was here to end the ghost. He studied the map of fallen patrols, so many red marks. One of his officers asked, is it really just one human? Jarek's eyes glowed. If it is, he's not human anymore. The LEGND grows. David watched the ship land from a distance. He sat high in the trees, armor glowing softly. He barely looked human now. Alien armor wrapped around his chest and arms. His eyes scanned heat and motion. His heartbeat was slow, controlled. He didn't feel fear anymore. Just purpose. Strange HELP. As David moved through the jungle, he found something strange. A small alien child. Alone. Hurt. Crying. David froze. She didn't run. She just looked at him. He stepped closer, careful. She held out a broken tool, some kind of scanner. David kneeled, fixed it in seconds, and gave it back. The child looked up and whispered something. He didn't understand the words, but he knew the meaning. Thank you. Then she ran. David stood up slowly. They don't all want this war, he said to himself. The first meeting. That night, Jarek sent a team of elite soldiers, smart, silent, fast. They didn't find David. He found them. He used sound loops to trick them. He used shadows to confuse them. One by one, they disappeared. Only one survived, crawling back to the ship with a message burned into his armor. Still just one. Still not tired. Jarek stared at it in silence. David's mind. Inside a deep cave, David cleaned his weapons. He whispered, they still think this is about winning. He looked at a picture, old, torn, from his ship, his crew, his friends, all gone. This is about memory. He closed his eyes. This is about showing them we never go down easy. The Jost APERs. 3 aliens patrolled near a river. One stopped. Did you hear that? The water bubbled. Something rose from it, a tall shape, covered in armor, glowing eyes. It moved fast. Too fast. One scream, then silence. The others fired blindly. But the ghost was gone. All that was left was a message carved into a tree. You invaded. Now you pay. COMMANDERZHERAKSPEAKs. Jarek stood before his soldiers. He showed them a hologram. David, walking through fire, silent, deadly. This thing is not just a man. He is a weapon. He is what happens when we forget to respect fear. Then he gave a new order. No more patrols. No more games. Bring me the ghost. David's plan. David wasn't hiding anymore. He was planning something. He set devices in the trees, hacked alien tech, and created a signal beacon. It would send a message, not just to the aliens, but to space, to anyone listening. Human survivor, planet Elter 9. Under attack. I am alive. I am fighting. The message was simple, but powerful. ANEWALL. As he activated the beacon, something replied. Not human. Not alien. A strange signal. A neutral voice. We hear you, Ghost. You are not alone. David stared at the message. For the first time in days, he smiled. CLIFFHANGR. The legends Voriades. In alien cities far away, children whispered about a human who hunts monsters. In space bars, soldiers spoke of a ghost in the jungle who never dies. And on the planet's surface, David stood on a cliff, staring down at the alien base. He whispered, "You wanted a story." He pulled his blade from his back. "Now you get a legend." The fog rolled in thick and low. It crawled through the jungle like a living thing. White, silent, cold. The aliens inside the base tightened their grip on their weapons. Something was coming. Something they couldn't see. But they could feel it. A base on edge. Commander Jarek walked the halls of the underground base. Every screen showed alerts. Every camera flickered. Guards were stationed at every corner. No one was allowed to move alone. Still, soldiers were disappearing. No blood, one officer whispered. No noise. Just gone. Jarek clenched his fists. "This isn't war," he growled. "This is humiliation." Inside TAEFOH. David Cole stood just beyond the outer fence, hidden by fog. His armor, patched with jungle vines and stolen tech, blended into the mist. He moved like a shadow. He cut power cables, planted charges, jammed their comms. He wasn't just attacking. He was breaking their minds. He whispered into their stolen radios. "Your base is not safe. I'm already inside. LASHBACK. Why he fights." As he moved, David remembered his ship, the one shot down months ago. He saw the faces of his crew, laughing, planning. All dead now, killed in the first wave by aliens who thought humans were easy prey. He clenched his jaw. They thought we were soft. He looked at the glowing detonator in his hand. They were wrong. The first strike key. At 300, explosions lit up the jungle edge. 3 towers fell. Fire poured into the sky. The aliens ran to respond, but the fog made it impossible to see. David moved among them like smoke. He used their own weapons against them. Silent blades, shocking minds. By sunrise, 20 more soldiers were gone, and not a single trace left behind. Only the words burned into a wall. This is what a human looks like when he has nothing left to lose. The secret room. Inside the base, David found something new, a sealed lab behind level 6. The door had no handle, but his stolen armor connected with it. Click. Inside, he found pods. Dozens of them. Humans. Alive. Unconscious. In stasis. Test subjects. Experiments. Torture. He stepped back, shaking. They weren't just hunting us, he said. They were using us. His eyes burned with rage. He looked at the control panel. One button said, "Release all." He pressed it. Awakening. The pods hissed open one by one. Humans fell out, gasping. Weak, but alive. David helped them up. "You're safe now," he said. A woman with a military badge looked at him. "Who are you?" David looked at his reflection in the pod glass. "I was a soldier," he said. "Now I'm something else." ZHERDK's rage. Back in the command room, Jarek slammed the table. He freed the prisoners. The officer nodded. And they're armed now. Jarek shouted, "This ends tonight." He turned to his elite guard. "Find him. Bring me his head." Batidal Hales. David and the rescued soldiers moved through the lower halls. They were weak, hungry, but they followed him. He taught them how to use the alien weapons. They fought side by side. Plasma hit metal. Sparks flew. Blood spilled. In the middle of it all, David moved like a storm. A moment of mercy. During the fight, David came face to face with a young alien soldier, barely more than a teenager. The alien dropped his weapon, shaking. "Please." David stared at him for a long moment, then turned away. "Tell them," he said. "Tell them I'm not the monster here." The escape plan. The humans reached a hangar. One small alien transport ship sat ready. David quickly started the engine. "We don't have long," he told the group. The woman asked, "You're not coming?" David shook his head. "Not yet. I'm not done." She looked at him. "You're a ghost, aren't you?" David smiled, just a little. "No, I'm the message." The ship lifted into the sky. CLIFFANGR movies. As the humans escaped, Jarek stood outside, watching the flames rise from his broken base. He raised his weapon and roared, "This ends now." Behind him, a new weapon was being prepared. Massive, glowing, ancient. Something not even David had seen before. Back in the jungle, David looked up at the sky and whispered, "Good. Bring everything." The jungle burned. Smoke rose like ghosts from the trees. Fires spread, lighting the night sky red. But David Cole was calm. He stood on a ridge, watching the alien base in ruins below. This was just the beginning. Zarak's weapon. Deep underground, Commander Jarek activated a massive machine. It hummed with power, glowing with strange energy. "This weapon will end the ghost," he said. The machine's core pulsed like a heartbeat, sending waves of energy through the planet. Outside, the jungle trembled. Preparing for battle. David gathered the freed humans. They cleaned their weapons and patched their wounds. They were tired, but ready. He spoke quietly. "They have a new weapon. We don't know what it can do, but we fight, or we die here." The soldiers nodded. No one wanted to die, but no one wanted to lose. The plan. David's plan was simple. Strike fast, hit hard, destroy the weapon, end the war. He divided the group into 3 teams. Each had a target: power generators, communications, and the weapon itself. David led the team to the weapon. The FOGRE2RNs. As they moved, thick fog covered the jungle again. It was hard to see, hard to breathe. Alien patrols appeared from the mist. Gunfire erupted. David's team fought through the fog and bullets. They moved silently, like shadows. The final fight. At the weapons chamber, David and his team faced Jarek and his elite guards. The room was filled with glowing machines and pulsing energy. Jarek smiled coldly. "You think you can stop me?" David raised his blade. "I know I can." The battle was fierce. Blades clashed with energy swords. Bullets met shields. Sacrifice. One soldier fell, blocking a blast that could have hit David. David pushed forward, fueled by anger and grief. He reached the weapon's core. With a final strike, he destroyed the control panel. The machine shuddered. Istieg. Alarms blared. The base began to collapse. David grabbed the fallen soldier's hand. "We're leaving. Now." They ran through falling debris and smoke. Outside, the freed humans and other teams fought to escape. Vike2RI and Lois. The weapon exploded in the distance. The jungle shook. The aliens retreated. But David looked at the faces around him. Many were gone. The war was won, but the cost was high. the Illignivs. David stood alone on a hill, watching the sunrise. He whispered, "This is not the end, but it's a beginning." The jungle was quiet again. But now it belonged to the humans, and the ghost was ready for whatever came next. The sun rose over the jungle, painting the sky orange and gold. The war was over, but the planet was forever changed. A silent jungle. The once loud and chaotic jungle was now quiet. No more alien patrols. No more explosions. Only the soft sounds of nature returning. David stood among the trees, breathing deeply. He looked at the horizon. Survivors. The humans gathered near a small camp. They were tired, injured, but alive. The woman from the pods walked up to David. "We owe you everything," she said quietly. David nodded. "We fight to live, and to never be hunted again." The alien AFT Eremitage. Far away, the alien leaders met in silence. They knew they had lost. Their empire was shaken. One elder said, "The humans are not weak." Jarek was gone, and the ghost they feared was a legend now. AMESSAG future. David sent a message to Earth, a simple one. Humans fight. Humans survive. We are not alone. He smiled, thinking of home. Hope and rebuilding. The survivors began to rebuild. They repaired old ships. They prepared for the journey home. But they would never forget the fight. The Jostis Ili Jesui. David looked at his reflection in a broken mirror. He saw a man changed by war, but still human. He whispered, "This is our new dawn." The jungle behind him was alive with sound. Birds sang. Life went on. The end, or beginning. David turned to his people. "We survived because we never gave up." He raised his blade. "Next time, we won't run. We will stand and fight." The survivors cheered. The legend of the ghost was now their story.